Hello? You cannot fuse 90 and 96 in fusing. But how do you successfully mix scraps of 90 and 96? You cold fuse. What's cold fusing? Glue. You can use E6000 or goop or whatever glue you want. This is quite simple. These are just bits of glass glued on together. I don't know if you can see the dimensions, sort of. They're just individual pieces of glass, and they are 90 and 96. This is jewelry, and all it is bits of glass glued onto other pieces of glass. This is a mirror from IKEA. There's the back of it. It's called Malma. Right now they're $1.99. And they come in, I gotta show you the back because the mirror is reflecting. They come in white and black, and they have a mirror on the front of them that's really tiny. You can see this little mirror. Well, it's perfect for putting glass. And if you don't want to do little bits, you can put one solid piece. It's a great display for your glass. It's this great little frame. $1.99. What I like about this mirror thing is wherever there's not glass, it doesn't look like I'm seeing a background. It looks kind of busy with the glass because it's reflecting. I fuse blanks of 90 and I fuse blanks of 96 because I like both. When I'm cutting these on the saw, I have 90 and 96. Okay, so I would take this when I'm on my tile saw and cut it in half. So it's just a little smaller because I like the pieces a little smaller. So I end up with little bits that look like this. And if you have enough of them, you end up with lots of little bits. I take them, when I've got them to the size I want them, I put them on this little kiln shelf. I fill it up. I fire polish them. 9999, 1360, 10 minutes off. That's for the 2 layers. Your kiln might be hotter. You might want to go cooler, slower, lower, you know. And then you end up with something like this. So this just came out this morning. I did these yesterday. What's different about these is I didn't do these on the tile saw. These were leftover pieces of maybe jewelry or earrings that didn't sell or whatever. And instead of cutting them on the tile saw, I'm running out of room quickly. Instead of cutting them on the tile saw, I used my nippers and glass cutter. Well, something like this. This is a little big, right? And so if I don't want it perfect, I can just cut it up, put it on there. But I can get the basic idea with my nippers. Okay, so now I have boatloads of these. And what to put them on. You know you can put them on the frame, but the other option is cutting a piece of glass, and this is black glass, this is clear glass. I cut different sizes of clear and black, and of course you can use any color you want. This is a good size for a pendant for me. I think that'd be a good size. Fire polish as fast as possible. Whatever your kiln does that at, 9999 to 1350 for, I would do 8 minutes. And then off, and that's it. You'll get these beautiful fire polish pieces. Let me flip it over so that the shiny side is on the back. So now my customer, my friend, will get a shiny piece on the back. And how often do you get that? Now I've got a nice flat piece here, and so I put the largest piece on there, and now I want to fill it in with smaller pieces. I like a variety of color. And you don't have to fill the whole thing in. You've got that black in the background. Now let's glue it. What I do with my E6000 is I got one of these little tips, and I love them lots. I love these tips. And I cut it at an angle, just a little bit of an angle. I do waste a little bit this way because it's going up in that little nozzle, but it's so worth it. Let's get these little puppies off. You want to keep them in the order that you designed it. Now take a little piece, put a little dot of glue, and if you don't have one of these tips, use, I'm going to spin that around. Just squeeze some on a paper plate and use a toothpick to put a little dot on there. There we go. They're getting tiny here. Let's see. Not too much. Let's see, let's go this way. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Now you have successfully mixed 90 and 96 with what? Cold fusion, E6000, or goop. Either one works. Once it's dry for 24 hours, I would stick it in my oven on a little cookie sheet with a little foil to protect my cookie sheet. But even with the bail, I would glue the bail on right now and let that dry with the 24 hours. And then stick it in my oven tomorrow, 275 for about 20 or 25 minutes. And then take it out. Just let it sit there. Don't touch it until it's completely cool. And then your bail, well, and your glass pieces will stay on so well. You know, they never come off. You really have to pry. I think that's absolutely beautiful. And look how easy it was. And we are mixing 90 and 96 through cold fusion. So I think that's pretty awesome. This is the picture frame from IKEA. I cover it with bits and pieces of fused glass that I've cut up and fire polished. I finished filling in this square, the mirror. So there they are. Once you place them in there, it's next to impossible to take them all out and put them all back in the same spot. And so what I do is put some masking tape over it, and then you peel this back, and you put your dots of glue on there. You could fill this whole thing with glue, but then you're going to see it. I use my E6000 or goop with my nozzle, and I put little dots of glue on everything. It takes only a minute, a couple of minutes. And then you flip this back over and get that in place. And if you have any glue, that, like I would have gotten glue right there because that piece was scraping along the side there. So you would want to wipe off any excess glue. Press them all down. They're all different sizes and heights. Press them all down. And if you want, leave this tape on there and just let it dry that way. The first one I did, I placed them all in there, and then I took the painstaking time to set them all aside and then glue them all in one by one. Well, they never go back in the same way that I planned them, and so then you're trying to find little pieces to fill in and move them around, and then you have glue oozing. So, do as I say, not as I did, right? And you can also do that if you're doing it on a piece of, you know, this fire polished glass. You can plan them, tape them, take it off. Pretty awesome. All right, see you guys later. Thanks for joining. We'll go back to me dancing and singing.